Hello, I'm Kristen Higginson.
And I'm Alex Watson, and you're watching Teesside News.
Coming up on today's show, in Tea Entertainment, we will be joined in the studio by the director and producer of the student TV series Tribes.
Teesside reporters caught up with Stevie Stoker from the band Twister.
We will be getting into the Christmas spirit by taking a look behind the scenes at Teesside University's event Festive Fling.
Finally, in entertainment, we attended the university's Christmas market where reporters got into the Christmas spirit trying festive foods.
In Tea Sport, we have our 60-second roundup on campus sport, followed by our regular sports panel that will be discussing the biggest topics at Middlesbrough Football Club.
And now, in Tea News, how hard is it to recover from severe drug addiction?
With drug use on the rise across the United Kingdom, Jake Graham, a journalism student here at Teesside University, travelled to the United States to find out how rehab differs between two countries.
We're joined by Jake in the studio.
Hiya Jake, so tell me a bit more about your show Recovery Connections.
So Recovery Connections is the product of work that's been going on for about a year now. Basically, it started in the UK from a charity called Hope North East, who have now renamed to Recovery Connections, which is where I've got the name from. The goal is to network across the world for recovery from addiction. So we've done it a little bit in a place called Santon in South Africa, and just recently we've took it to North Carolina and Georgia in America, and it's hoping to go to states like Texas and stuff and then branch out from there.
Oh, very cool. So is that why you travelled then to America?
Yeah, so I documented it because one thing recovery needs is exposure because of stigma and other similar issues like that stop it from getting the recognition it really deserves.
That's
Obviously, it's a great cause. What made you want to get involved?
I got involved because I actually used to live in South Africa, which is where the Santon link came from, and a lot of my work over there was with children living in institution, and drugs play a huge role in the reason why they're institutionalized, but also their behaviour while they're in institution, and it is a global problem that needs to be addressed, and the only way to do that is to, one, expose the problem, but to change people's opinions on it and not criminalise people who you know, if maybe taken cocaine once and become an addict because it's a mental health problem is addiction. It's not contrary to what people think. As well as the physical addiction, there's a heavy emphasis on mental addiction as well. So just because someone's taken a drug and is now addicted doesn't mean they were born a criminal and actually want to be doing that stuff. So stop putting people in prison and start getting people the help they need is the message we try to get across.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jake. It's been really good.
Thank you
very
for
much.
having me on.
Thank you.
Following the Brexit vote, Teesside students were given the opportunity to travel to Brussels.
The students went to find out what goes on in European Parliament. Let's see how they got on. I'm Kristen Higginson, and this is Belfast, where I was born. I grew up and have lived in the UK my whole life. From an early age, I've experienced a culturally diverse lifestyle and had friends from all different backgrounds. The recent vote in the UK to leave the EU has sparked debates over high immigration levels.
It has officially voted to leave the European Union, the point of no return.
The vote has raised the ever-famous opinion that migrants are taking jobs belonging to UK-born residents, and this opinion is becoming more apparent.
Taking the jobs, taking our women, you want them out, don't you?
So, are immigrants taking over UK jobs? Or are they just doing the work most Brits won't? I wanted to find out more.
So the North East has the highest youth unemployment figures for the country, and it's a situation which actually has received a lot of European attention. So Tees Valley and County Durham classifies for specific aid for young people to try and help them get back into work, to start apprenticeships, to get effective training. Losing that kind of support will have an impact, but the effect on young people will really depend on the effect on the economy as a whole. If there's a change in terms of unemployment in the region, then that always hits young people harder than other people, than the total population.
The North East of England also voted to leave the EU. With high levels of immigration into areas such as Middlesbrough, how do locals feel about unemployment?
There's too many now, isn't there? There's way too many. I think when we come out with this Brexit thing or whatever it is, we'll get to know more. Either staying or either going, I don't know.
It's not really my say to stop people coming in the country to work. So as long as they're safe and they're here and they're not getting murdered in some other country, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah, how do you feel about people coming from different countries to work in the UK?
I really don't mind. I don't mind at all. So long as they're coming here to work, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Who are the foreigners that are supposedly taking UK jobs? I met with William, who came to Northern Ireland teaching himself English by reading Ladybird books.
My name is William Krupa, and I'm from Slovakia. I did professional tree inspection, do the ISA certified arborist, and I got a job with the Belfast City Council. And currently I am woodland officer, and I'm doing all the surveys on the trees. Belfast City Council gave me an opportunity to study arboriculture, so I'm currently doing a level 4 diploma in arboriculture, what is really beneficial for me as well. I would never get that opportunity somewhere else. I would say the work is everywhere the same. You always have to do a work, but the people over here are very friendly. What I like in most of the countries, they are not friendly, and over here is just easygoing. I think the people will still have to work here because a lot of people are coming from Slovakia, Poland, from Croatia, from EU, but they're working, they're contributing for this country, and they're paying the taxes. So I would say the people they work, they will stay in here because they're contributing to this country.
So, will immigration be affected by Brexit? We'll just have to see. That's all from T News. Over to T Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Sam Bradley. In entertainment today, we'll be looking at some of the big events coming up in the university calendar. We caught up with Stevie Stoker from the band Twister as he performed an acoustic set in the studio.
Alright Stevie, so we've heard a lot about Twister recently, the new record obviously, and the awards that you've been winning recently. Could you just tell us a bit about how the band came about, how long you've been going, your influences, stuff like that?
Yeah, actually it's 13 years this coming February I started the band. And we sort of just set ourselves little goals of we wanted to learn a song, we wanted to play a gig and things like that. And then it got on to we wanted to write our own material, and then this is our third album now. And yeah, we've recently just won 4 music awards in the last 3 weeks, which is absolutely stupid. But yeah, we won a couple at the Hereditary Memorial Music Awards, and then on Sunday night we won Best Album and Best Band at the U-Beat Awards at Newcastle O2, awesome. Which was mint. But this album we're doing it in 3 parts. So it's called the State of Mind Collection. So the first part was Design State of Mind, which came out in October, and we've got Refined and Combined State of Mind, which both come out on May the 15th.
Thanks very much for answering my questions, spend a bit of time.
The Christmas market was on campus recently, selling festive foods and presents. We went down to see what was happening and to try some of the cuisine.
First on the menu is the Parma stone. We've gone with the Xmas special. It's basically a Parma bun with stuffing. Next up is a buffalo burger from the Green Chog Roast. Very yummy. Got half a burger. Let's play with Jamie. See how it is? It's a red coloured burger. Very odd. Never had one before. But absolutely fantastic. Delicious. Recommend. This one's from the Crispy Cornwich, and with a zingy chicken with noodles. It's not too bad. It tastes essentially just like a stir-fry kebab. But I will be giving mine away because the carrot's weird.
Kristen joins me in the studio to talk to the director and producer of the student TV series Tribes. Before that, let's check out their trailer.
First off, I'll start by saying this is our natural habitat, the sesh. Let me introduce the gang. There's Jay. He's so, but he's my best mate. Tim. Nobody knows much about him except Mac. All I know is thick on the decks. Speaking of Mac, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Pep. Sweet lass. She's been going a bit mental lately. Chris, her baby brother. He's a bit wet behind the ears, but he's a good for a laugh. That smart looking guy in the interview, yeah, that's me. We're an interesting bunch.
Anyway, I'm going with you.
This thing on? Oh, you all have to come here. I'm talking to you. Bring everyone down here and have a f***ing mint time.
With us in studio now is Ben Stainsby and Macaulay MacDonald, who directed and produced Tribes. How are you?
Hi guys.
We're good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. So, right, tell me where the whole idea came from for Tribes.
Okay, so basically, Tribes was my idea. It was inspired on, I'm not going to say real events.
You can be honest, you can be honest,
I'm not going to
Ben.
say real events, but definitely real people. Me and a couple of friends went to Leeds Fest a couple of years ago, and you know, I knew I was starting a course doing TV and film. I just looked at my friend, I can't remember what day I was, to be honest. I looked at my friend and I just went, this needs to be on telly. This here needs to be on telly. So like, you know, I got to uni and I started putting together ideas, and here I am.
So what was it like trying to get a crew together for a project like this?
Well, first person I approached was obviously Macca. He hates that name.
I do. No, but basically, he came to me in like January time this year, and it didn't really take us long to find a crew, did it? We thought it would be best to restrict our crew to just first year production students on our course. Okay. So everyone in the crew was also in our classes, so we all knew where they were. We could all get them down for shoots. We knew it was quite reliable.
And everyone was on board straight away?
Oh yeah, everyone loved it, and they're still all involved now.
Awesome. And how did you raise enough money to sort of produce this? Because it's such a good production. So.
All right. So we had a £0 budget.
Oh.
What little money we have spent on it came out of our own pockets.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But realistically, we've spent next to nothing on it.
Because our crew was so willing to help us out, they basically paid their own petrol, fed themselves most of the time, and most of our locations were like homely places anyway, so we could help ourselves to coffee and stuff like that. So it was all easy peasy, but in terms of production, like money for production, it was all our own pockets. We even ended up getting an emergency loan from the university.
Yeah, we did.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Took a little longer than I expected to pay it back, but I paid it back, I'm not gonna lie.
Cool. So creatively, how hard was it to kind of think of ideas for each episode?
Well, first off, I thought of the idea for the full series, and then I planned each episode based on that. Each episode kind of revolved around a different member of the crew. But I was never going to film a full series in that kind of time with no money. So I started talking to a couple of my mates who I got on board as writers, and we said, right, let's do the pilot episode. And then we just kind of built it up from there. But with the pilot episode, we were also like, wait, that doesn't really tell you the story. So at the end, we've done like a mashup of all the best bits from the series, which tell a full story.
Oh, cool. So, can I ask, how on earth did you get some of the shots that you did in the trailer? I mean, the shots at the festival, how on earth can you book out a whole festival?
Well, basically we got in touch with a little company called Raindrop Events, and they organise festivals. There was one in Hampstead Forest, just near Bishop Auckland, and we paid him a small fee. for an area in the festival which we could corner off and make our own, so all of our cast was safe when they weren't shooting. And we just went out into the festival and just did what we wanted, and when people saw the cameras they kind of avoided us more than got in the way, which was quite a surprise. But obviously there are some people in the background just looking over thinking what's going on, but
we managed to cut that well. To be fair, that was like the starting point really, wasn't it? Like we saw that this little festival in Hampsley Forest, a place where I spent a good bit of my childhood really, was happening, and then we were just like, you think we could do it? Like, you think we can get that festival and just do it?
And a few emails and a phone call later,
Worth a try.
we were meeting the guy and getting the form signed. So it all worked out pretty well, to be honest. And that was the first thing we filmed, believe it or not. We didn't film any of the house scenes, pub scenes, any dialogue or anything before that festival. So it was a great way for all of our cast to kind of get together.
Get to know each other, get like a feel for the character, everything. Really. Just like get into the full vibe of the tribe.
So as you can kind of see from the trailer, it's a similar sort of show to Skins, I'd say. How much of an influence was that as...
I'm not going to lie, it was a massive influence. I didn't actually watch Skins when it was on TV. I watched it like a couple of years before I went to this festival, and I was still kind of in that whole period of my life where I was relating to these characters an awful lot. And Skins has been off the air for almost 10 years now. So it's about time that someone showed youth culture as a whole from this generation. And I can do that. I know what we do. It's not all good, it's not all bad, but it's fun. And that's what people like to watch.
Definitely, and on social media you have had really good traction with your trailer, so tell me a bit more about that. How many views have you had?
Well, I think at this moment we've reached about 40,000 people with our trailer, but only about a quarter of that have actually interacted with it by liking it or anything like that. So yeah, that's decent. We've only got 1,000 people on our Facebook page as it stands, but
we would like more.
What is the Facebook page in case anyone wants to go and check it out?
Well, it's just called Tribes the Series. It's facebook.com/Tribes the Series.
It's easy enough to find. You've just got a picture of about 6 young lads and lasses looking canny off their face. Quite colourful.
Awesome. So tell me, just lastly, so we can like let you go, and I'm sure you have a lot of work to do. What's in the future then for Tribes?
Well, after I've won my BAFTA. No. Yeah. The crack is we are not done with Tribes. Whether we get the funding or not, we are going to make this series happen somewhere or another.
Okay.
I don't know where it's going to go. We want it to go to Netflix. We want it to go all over the place. We want this generation to see what we've done. But however it turns out, it's getting done. It's getting made.
As you may already know, we've only made the first episode. That's due to release at the beginning of 2017.
Oh,
but
exciting.
That was just with the money from our own pockets. We can't say how much it was because we simply don't know, but with the support of everyone all over, we can make the full series and then more.
So if you want to watch it, give us some coins.
Awesome. Thank you for telling us about Tribes.
I know, good luck with the series. Thank you. Thanks.
And that's all from entertainment. Let's go over to T-Sport. Welcome to T-Sport. Coming up, we'll have our regular sports panel in the studio to discuss some of the hottest topics surrounding Middlesbrough Football Club. But before that, here's our 60-second roundup of campus sport. In football, the Teesside men's first team beat Sheffield Hallam University 3-1 in a one-sided game to leave Teesside second in the table after 6 rounds of games. Up next for the men is an away trip to Leeds Beckett University, who currently sit 4th in the table. A win for the Teessiders could see the guys go top of the league. Meanwhile, the Teesside women's football team lost their first match of the season 5-3 to York St John University. Despite the loss, the Teessiders are still top of the league. Up next for the ladies is a trip to play rivals at the University of Sunderland, and Teesside will be looking to extend their lead at the top of the Women's League. In basketball, the men's Teesside University team went down 101-92 to Durham University in an away match, leaving the Teesside team with only 1 win in 5 games this season and sitting 5th in the league. Up next for the men is a tough game away to the team from the University of Manchester, as Teesside look to pull out of the relegation zone. And that's your 60-second roundup of university sport.
Hello and welcome to this week's Teesside Sports Panel. Joining me this week, George Harrison, Josh Frankland and Liam Kelly. Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you.
Let's get down to business, shall we? Well, it's coming up to the Christmas period and Middlesbrough sit mid-table. How are you happy with the season so far? Let's start with you, George.
I feel Middlesbrough are starting to adapt to the Premier League and how it works.
They tried to go with the approach they did last year of the Championship, and that was not working. Their defence is still solid, but their attack needs a bit of work. Josh?
Yeah, I think we expected Middlesbrough to be down there at the start of the season when we came up from the Championship. But what's impressed me is how the defence has stayed the same, like George has just said. I seen a stat the other day that only Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham have conceded less than Borough. So that's Man United and Man City conceding more. So if you keep that up, you'd imagine they stay in the Premier League this season. So I'm happy with how it's gone so far.
Liam, are you similar sentiments?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of improvement in us still, and I think since we changed to 4-5-1, we've been a lot better, more solid at the back, and just we do need help going forward, like George said. But I think that'll come with improvement. It's not
unbeaten away from home for over 2 months now. Is that an impressive run? You need to keep that going. It's a fantastic run. The only worrying thing is the home record should be the kind of the give and go. Like the home one should be the better. Yeah. I'm not complaining, but maybe change that home run.
In regards to the home form, what you can be impressed is that 2 of the last 3 we've won. So they lost against Chelsea, but Chelsea are walking the league at the minute. So, but in regards to the away form, it doesn't really surprise me because it's the way Middlesbrough set up. They defend a lot and then they'll catch people on the counter attacks, and with the pace of Traore and Gaston Ramirez, you're always going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think it showed last year in the cup games we can hold our own away from home against Premiership teams, and this year with the home form, like Josh says, it's home wins that matter, not an unbeaten run. We just need to pile points on. It's 3 points rather than 1, really.
Let's look ahead to January now. What position would you like to fill?
Should we all say this at once?
Definitely
forward.
Yeah, definitely a striker.
I don't have a problem with Negredo. I think he's good. He just needs supply.
I think we need a different option to Negredo because at the minute it's just Negredo. I think what is with Negredo, he's very good at holding the ball up, but then maybe in the attacking areas around Negredo, he holds the ball up and then there's no one getting in behind him, whereas there should be. Ramirez does it well, but you need someone else.
He showed against Leicester that he can finish.
Yeah, he's definitely
2
a good
quality finishes.
Yeah.
Not well enough though. That's
not often.
He's had
enough.
a lot of
yeah. It's already been. I think that's his 3 goals in the entire season.
They sacrificed the attacking midfield though to get the balance in centre midfield.
Yeah.
And that's worked for the team.
Yeah, it's made
but
us
not
a
so
better
much in
team.
goals.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're still creating a lot. It's not.
I think everyone's came into their own now because at the start of the season we were struggling, and then the attacking players have got more involved. Negredo's obviously got 2 against Leicester last week. Could have had a couple again against Hull on Monday night, but he missed a couple of
What I
sitters.
think he's done is he has his loyalties to certain players he likes. He's abandoned that and he's playing the players who fit the system. You would not bet that Forshaw will be playing over Ledbetter at the start of the season.
Oh, no,
you would not bet that Fisher, Traore and Ramirez are the ones on the wing. You would have had, I was going to say Dormer, but he's gone now. Stuani on the wing, Stewie Downing. But he's abandoned the loyalties, which is good for Borough.
Finally, yeah.
So you're all in agreement, as a striker you want in January. Who is that striker, Liam?
That's a good question.
Especially
pretty
in
hard
January.
finding a goal scorer. Yeah.
It's
We're going to have to
impossible.
spend big in January, but
Who's your
that's just
ideal?
getting-
If you can pick a name, who's your ideal player?
I don't know.
I couldn't think of
I
a
was like maybe he's someone like Llorente. Like I think he'd be a good signing.
He would be a good
because
signing.
he does the same
He
sort of
wouldn't
stuff as
join though.
Negredo.
Even then, he's just
Don't
signed
think
for
he joins
Swansea, hasn't he? Yeah.
But he's like I think he'd score more goals. He does the same things as Negredo, but he'd score more goals than Negredo.
Josh?
Don't think I could really pick a name, especially in January, because no one that really stands out. We haven't really been linked with anyone. But if you're looking, it's the same type of player as Negredo. But at the minute, I'm happy with Negredo. I'd like to see another winger come in, but because at the minute we've got Traore. His final ball isn't quite there, but he's doing well. We've got Ramirez, who's doing much better recently, and then we've got Fisher, who's been decent. He's having a go, but at the minute we still lack creativity. And I think if Negredo gets more chances created for him, he's going to score.
George? I think it's a long shot, but I think if he fell out of favour, a Marcus Rashford loan deal would be absolutely perfect for Middlesbrough. But I can't see it happening. Okay then, well I've shared some of the opinions of the Middlesbrough panel. Thank you all for joining us today. Liam, Josh, George. Thank you.
For now, I've been Jamie McDougall, and we'll see you next week.